Hey there! In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do the loop stitch for amigurumi and its different variations. As you can see, they look pretty similar except these two are a little bit larger here on the right, but they're the same amount of stitches across. So I will show you the differences and you can pick your favorite on which technique you like the most, and you can incorporate them into your next amigurumi project. Just a quick note before we get started, I wanted to show you that I am using a regular magic ring with 6 single crochet into it to begin all 4 of these samples. I find that trying to do the loop stitch into a magic ring is kind of a pain in the butt, and the loops are usually so dense that you can't even see that magic ring anyway, so I like to make my life a little easier by starting with just a regular magic ring of 6. So I've worked at my first sample, which is 24 stitches around. I just increased by 6 each round. And I wanted to note that this is actually the back side of your work that the loops are coming out on. This side is the front side, or the side that you would normally have facing out when you're making amigurumi. But because of the nature of this stitch, the loops do come out of the back. So just note that. We'll talk about the other variations where you can alter that in a minute. So let's go over how to make the loop stitch. We're going to have the yarn around our index finger, then insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, and then reach over and pull that second loop that's around your tension finger down so that you're pulling both loops through the stitch. You should have 3 loops on your hook. And then you have 2 options. You can either kind of manipulate the work a little bit, yarn over to pull through, or you can remove your finger from that loop and then use your middle finger to press it down while you return your index finger to being the tension finger. So you're holding that loop down, and then you can yarn over and pull through all 3 loops to complete the stitch. And that's just a matter of preference and how you prefer to hold your hook. If you wanted to do an increase loop stitch, you're just going to insert your hook, grab both loops, pull them through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then to make it an increase, we're going to just go back into the exact same stitch and repeat the process. So increasing is very, very easy. Now if you wanted to decrease, it's a little bit different. So what we're going to do is insert our hook into that next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Then we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch and then yarn over, reach over, grab that second loop and pull both loops through. So now you have 4 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. And that's how you decrease with the single loop stitch. In this sample, we're still working with the loop stitch, but there's a little bit of a difference. So if you look, this is actually the back side of the work here, and the loops are coming out of the front side, unlike the first sample where the loops were coming out of the back. So I'm going to show you how to do this little variation of the front side loop stitch, because this incorporates easier into an existing amigurumi. Like if you wanted to add a couple of these loop stitches in the middle of a project, you wouldn't want the loops coming in the back side of your work where your stuffing is, so you want them coming out of the front. And I'll show you, this is a pretty easy technique. So what you're going to do is remove that stitch marker. And now we're going to start in the basic hand position we did the first time with our tension finger up. And now instead of inserting our hook into the stitch, we are going to use our thumb. We're going to go behind that strand of yarn right there. We're going to pull it down in front of our work, like so. And then we're going to kind of shift it closer to the hook because we're going to go around it and then into our next stitch. Then we'll yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through. Now my tension was a little too loose on that, so I'm going to redo it real quick. So a little bit faster, pulling that loop down, going around it into the stitch, yarn over, pull through to finish. Now I'll show you how to do a quick increase. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull the loop down with our thumb, go around it around that strand and insert our hook back into the exact same stitch that we just worked into, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through both loops. And that is how you would increase for the front facing loop stitch, or I'm sorry, the front side loop stitch. Either way you want to think about it. Now I'm going to do a couple more of these stitches, and then let's talk about how to decrease with this stitch. In order to do a decrease, we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then before we insert our hook into the following stitch, we're going to pull that yarn down with our thumb and then go around it again. Now go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. So that is how you do the decrease of the front facing loop stitch. Now for this sample, our third one, we are looking at the double loop stitch. And this one, similar to the very first sample, is where the loops are coming out of the back side. You can see the purple one is much denser. They're about the same size right now, even though they're the same number of stitches apart, but there are many more loops in the double loop stitch. So that's just a personal preference. I personally think that the single loop stitch is a little easier, but let me show you how to do this so you can make up your own mind about it. To get started, I'm going to remove that stitch marker, and then we're going to go back to our basic hand positioning, except this time is very important. You need to wrap the yarn around your index finger or your tension finger twice, like so. And this is how we're going to create that double loop bit. It may take a little bit of practice to figure out the right tension, so just keep that in mind. Now we're going to insert our hook, we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to reach under our finger and grab both of those loops that are wrapped around our tension finger and then pull them through. So you've got 3 loops on your hook. And then I definitely recommend removing your tension finger and holding the loops down with your middle finger while you yarn over and pull through all of the loops on your hook. So let's do that one again real quick. We're going to insert our hook, yarn over, reach up and grab those 2 loops that are on your tension finger, pull them both through, and then yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. And to increase, you're just going to work that stitch twice in the exact same spot, like so. Now, if you want to decrease, I'll show you how to do that. First, you're going to insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, then wrap your yarn twice around your tension finger, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through both of those 2 loops up top. You should end up having 5 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through all 5. And that's how you do the double loop stitch. As a quick note, it's important to notice that the double loop stitch, because it's so much denser, it will curve your project inward more despite increasing evenly. As you can see, the single loop stitch is a little bit flatter. So just keep that in mind when you're using this. This is our final sample, the front side double loop stitch. And very similar to the front side single loop stitch, we're going to be pulling that loop down in front and working. There is a little bit of a variation though, so kind of watch carefully how I'm doing this. You're going to wrap the yarn down and then around so that you've got 2 loops hooked around your thumb, and it's hard to keep this tension, so just try and be patient. And we're going to go under that first loop on our thumb only. Then insert your hook into the stitch, reach around, and then grab that loop and pull it through, but you're not just pulling it through the stitch, you're also going to be pulling it under that first loop on your thumb as well. So you've got 2 loops on your hook, then you yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Now, I know that was a bit tricky, so we're going to do it again. You wrap your thumb twice. We're going to go under the first loop on your thumb, go into the next stitch, or the same stitch if you're increasing. Reach over, grab that yarn and pull it through, not just the stitch, but the second loop on your thumb, then yarn over and pull through both loops. And that is the front side double loop stitch. So it may take a little bit of practice. You can see I'm kind of fumbling with it here because honestly, this is the most pain in the butt of all of these variations. Then to decrease, we're going to insert our hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Then we're going to wrap our thumb twice, pull it down, and then we're going to go again under that first loop on your thumb, and then insert your hook into the next stitch, reach over, grab that yarn and pull it through the stitch and that first loop on your thumb. You have 3 loops, and you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And that's how you do the decrease for the front side double loop stitch. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed learning the different variations of the loop stitch. I'm curious to see what you would use this stitch for. I think it would work great for fur, for doll hair, all kinds of different textures. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. You can also check out the full written tutorial on my blog. I'll have the link in the description box, as well as the affiliate link for this yarn that I use if you want to help me out a little bit. And I hope you have a great day. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.